We're gonna make fun of Greta as a last final thing. The whole internet called her out. Interesting, but Asmongold clips. I've not seen this one, but is it just me or does this woman, she's younger than me, get uglier the often I see her? Like, it just gets worse. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. But it just actually gets worse and worse. Let's have a look-see.
Okay. So this is what happened in Sweden.
Last year in Sweden, a 16-year-old girl was on her way home from work when she was raped. However, the criminal...
Yeah. Yeah. If you didn't know, Sweden is not that much better in that regard, right? Right? Besides, right, there are atrocities committed in Sweden besides banana on pizza. But yeah, that did also happen. That did also happen. There's a lot of European countries that seem to have issues like this, which is very interesting, right? Remember that in Austria, they right, they did this to a teacher, right? Remember in Austria, they did this to a teacher, where they essentially blackmailed her and turned her into into their S slave, and then afterwards burned her apartment so nobody would find out. They did find out, luckily, and those are also sadly immigrant kiddos, as young as 14, I think.
A recognized refugee was not expelled because the crime was not considered serious enough to meet the high threshold set by the Refugee Convention. Her case has touched many deeply, and the fact that criminals are not deported is a betrayal of all victims of crime. As Sweden's Minister for Migration, as a father of 2 daughters, I cannot defend the systems that puts the rights of criminals before the rights of victims and law-abiding migrants.
So they didn't deport a literal rape. And so this girl, oh no, not again.
Yeah, they literally did not do that. They literally did not do that, right? Any reasonable country, right, would deport somebody like that, right? Makes sense. Any. Essentially any. Sweden? Nope. Germany? Nope. The UK? Nope. Austria? Nope. None of those. It's crazy. I don't know how it's with other countries like the Netherlands, Czechia, how they handle it. I'm pretty sure Poland would probably do it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know for Denmark, Finland, Norway, how they handle this.
Image people have Sweden as a progressive country guided by solidarity and humanitarian values is long outdated.
Thank God.
And we urgently need to talk about...
Yeah, because you had a feminist government, and that feminist government crashed you. Poland is doing really well, apparently. Apparently Poland is doing well. Yeah, true. The thing is, like, it just goes back to what one of our old chancellors, right? Who was it? Helmut Schmidt actually made it quite perfectly. Said it quite perfectly. Immigration with countries that share our values, unproblematic, right? Immigration from the Netherlands, unproblematic. Italy, unproblematic. United States, unproblematic. Poland, unproblematic. Immigration with countries that do not share our values are problematic. And that is true. Immigration with India, usually, at least in Germany, unproblematic, for example, right? Even though people don't really like them. It's usually unproblematic. Right? You won't see Indians on a statistic that high, right? You won't see... Japan is also a good example. China, the Philippines, right? Those also don't have that, right? You won't see high numbers in statistics. You get what I'm trying to say. There's immigration from countries that are close to our values and immigration from countries where that is not the case. And that's where the problem comes from. These people don't want to see that, though.
Some of the things happening here and put all the pressure we can. In Sweden, people who came here as children are now increasingly being deported without their families to countries they have no connection to and that are very much not safe for them to be in.
I think the solution is that we should deport them with the family. I think this is a good point she brings.
Bro, that's diabolical. Now, I think that should still be done individually, right? If they have not committed a crime, there's no reason to deport somebody, right? If they immigrated legally, they've integrated, they learned the language, they participate in society, they have a job, right? They don't just take, but they give. I don't see any problem. The problem is when that doesn't happen. That's where the problem rises. When there's crime, when they live off of welfare, when they refuse to learn the language, right? It's like interesting, right? Back then, we had a lot less children who went with their parents to teacher-parent conferences to translate stuff. Now we have way more, so we have the opposite now. So it got more, not less, which is very interesting. I mean, most of them just go earn and live quietly. They're among the highest earners in most countries they go to. Because because they know how to behave. They know how to, right? That's the thing, right? You don't visit somebody and shit on their floor, is what I'm trying to say. Or on that table. If you remember that one Reddit post. That's all. That's really all.
Brings up. I think logically the thing to do would be to send the family with them.
And these young people did not do anything wrong.
I wonder if the girls that got did anything wrong. That's the question.
And this is in light of Sweden becoming increasingly hostile and racist like so many other parts of the world. And
increasingly hostile. Did you know that there's no-go zones in Sweden? Yeah, there's literal no-go zones. There's zones where the police has completely abandoned them. These zones. Right? Which is very interesting, right? So, Sweden does not have legally defined no-go zones, but they are essentially no-go zones. But the Swedish police officially designated 65 urban suburbs as vulnerable areas. These are experienced with higher crime rates, socioeconomic challenges, organized criminal influences. So essentially areas where you shouldn't go to. Yeah. And this is, yeah, you can tell how delusional this woman is. Also, who did her haircut? Who did her haircut? I need to ask, I need to figure this out, right? Who did their haircut?
the Swedish government is now even negotiating with the Taliban to facilitate deportations.
Great. So they'll take him? Awesome. Yeah. Okay.
And these inhumane teenage deportations have evoked lots of anger in Sweden, and
As opposed to the humane rapes.
the right to seek asylum is a basic human right and cannot be compromised.
Of course you can. You just get rid of it. What do you mean? You can easily just turn it off. Who decided that it can't be compromised?
This is a direct result of stricter migration policy.
Well, they're not deporting them for no reason, right? Obviously. They're not deporting them for no reason. So, that means they are. And if you commit a crime, you gotta go. It's that simple. Commit a crime and you're not a legal citizen, you gotta go. Also, I highly doubt that Sweden doesn't have a right, considering how social Sweden is, that they don't have a policy that when if a child is born of two migrants that aren't yet legal citizen, that the child doesn't get legal citizenship already because it is born there. I highly doubt that's not the case. That is unlikely. I don't think that is reasonable to assume. So yeah, I don't think. No. I don't think that's not gonna lie. The Justin Bieber cut minus the fluff.
And a hostile discourse, and migrants have long fought against and warned about the development where we have normalized pure dehumanization. You cannot pick and choose which human rights to respect and follow.
Actually, you can. See, human rights are negotiated all the time. In fact, we're negotiating them right now. We're negotiating them all the time. Because, fun fact, human rights are not built by are just not something that... See, rights are something that needs to be enforced. Law is something that needs to be enforced. I'm sorry to pop this little girl's bubble, but we are negotiating human rights every single day. Because if somebody comes to power that doesn't give a shit about human rights, then they're gone. I know this may come as a shock, but... Every right, every law is negotiated at all times. Because a finger snip and they're gone. Nowhere to be seen. That's the harsh truth. Rights enforced by the powerful. And right now, she can be glad that she lives in Sweden and not in Afghanistan. Though honestly, probably as a woman, she would be safer than as a little boy. Ugh.
Of course you can. What do you mean? Why? Like,
This is the thing, is that these people have all these imaginary rules. There's no rules that say that you have to do anything. Why can't you just decide, well, we're not going to do this time?
We cannot stay silent in
You
times
can't
of
push the button.
injustice.
And by the way, I remember I got criticism for even watching this clip. Watch this.
The police leave, and as we prepare to go, young men masking their faces arrive and attack.
Go! Mate! Go! Don't you touch me! Okay,
Please, get out of here.
We're trying to help you. We want to make you guys look
You
good.
don't need to hurt us. There's no need to be unkind. Hey.
There's no need to be unkind. These people are just, they're so...
Do I need to say anything? Unprovoked, mind you. Unprovoked. And you know what they can't see? I have another theory. They would not dare to do this to anyone else if they were in their own country. They know they can do this because they won't face consequences. There's no need to be unkind. Is crazy. I don't even know why she is there. She's in the middle of this. Lady, you are a woman. If these dudes grab you, it is Jover. Is she stupid? But yeah, you can see this, right? They only do this because they know they can do this because they get away with it. They probably have gotten away with it. If they were in their own country trying to do this, they would get whipped. That's all I'm gonna say. They would face consequences. They were in their own country.
Gang's attention turns when a local intervenes and drives his mobility scooter into the most violent attack.
This is the thing. You literally have a disabled...
Based. A disabled dude just comes in and runs him over. That is crazy, bro. A disabled dude just comes in and just like, you gotta go, broski. Bro, if the disabled dudes have more balls than the cameraman, that's crazy.
old man who's the only one who's willing to actually put these people in their place at all. Just some random old man in a mobility scooter pushes them back. That's so sad. Like, if they're not citizens, what the fuck are they doing there? Because human rights? Well, what about people's right to be able to go in their country and not get attacked? There you go. I mean, again, I wish that you could take these people and make them live with those migrants and then say, you can't call the police.
They tried that. People like that have tried that, and then they were asked. And they were robbed, stolen, harassed. We already have had this, right? We have accounts of people that let migrants live with them. And with some of them, they had horrible, absolutely horrible, just experiences. That's all there's to it. Yeah. This woman is delusional, but to be fair, she's been delusional all the time. I mean, now it's getting even funnier because the people that said like we live in a climate crisis now are saying that their predictions were too extreme and radical, which makes me just believe that this lady was just a tool to begin with, a nepo baby. Which makes sense because her parents are very successful, so she is indeed a nepo baby, actually. Considering that. Anyways, interesting.